I have some, Mikey? Can I have some? Can I have some, Mikey? Can I have some?
Welcome to season 3. What's the time, Mr. Wolfz? Today is an amazing day. We're taking the opportunity to talk to a special guest. We got here, India. How was your performance today, India?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I think. What do you think?
It was lovely. I think I enjoyed it. Obviously, today is an important day for me. This is my 3rd season. You know what I mean? And I've got a couple questions for you. I don't know if you've seen the podcast before, but it's just about your musical journey.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, for me, mental health is a big topic, and I've been working with mind in other entities of my life.
Yeah.
So I like to bring it into the creative scene and shed more light on creatives, on musicians and the journey. So I'm gonna ask you a few questions on that.
Cool.
But yeah, I think the performance was amazing.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to
Yeah, it was
hearing
fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just start off with a couple questions. You know, like, can you tell me about your latest song, album, or what inspired you to make it?
Yeah, for me, it's very, the process is always very experimental. Usually me with a piano, just figuring out chords, melodies first, and then organically, you find a hook or something that you can latch onto and decorate the rest of the song around. My most recent song, I heard someone talking about the topic of free falling, which is just falling at a really high speed, that kind of idea.
What, dream?
And turn it into the idea of falling for someone, but them not being there to catch you and kind of not giving you that energy back. And that's just kind of where, I base it around. But it's all very experimental.
Sounds
my process,
emotional.
yeah.
Sounds deep. All right, well, sounds good. What's your creative process like when you're making or when you're making new music?
Well, yeah, like I said, usually for me it kind of starts with chords, melodies. That's what initially I feel I'm drawn to with other songs. So it's the way that I can kind of start, and then lyrics kind of come out after that. But yeah, just me with the piano, or as well, I love collaborating with people because you can kind of bounce ideas off of them. But I feel every process is so individual and different. Depends on the mood that you're in, the day, the song that you're writing about. So I feel you can't really even compare each one, for me.
Obviously, this is about mental health, and I want to kind of touch on that. You don't have to say too much, but I mean, how's your mental health influence with your music? You was talking about a lot of emotional aspects.
Yeah, I think, well, generally for me, it's probably restricted a lot of the progression in my music career, just through anxiety, lack of self-confidence, self-doubt. And I feel so many people in this industry can relate to that kind of feeling, and kind of just feeling you're not good enough to fully immerse yourself in this world, because it's so intense. And if you're not coming at it with high confidence, you're just gonna get shut out.
I mean, is it a quality issue over quantity, in the sense you got a lot of music, but you want to always
massive sense of perfectionism, and nothing's ever good enough, and obviously there's so many people around you to compare yourself to, so it's so easy to be oh, but it's not like that. But yeah, for me, just being surrounded by the right people that support you and encourage you and kind of help you progress.
Okay. Have you found any new pressures in the music industry since you've been in it? How's it impacted your music?
Yeah, I feel well, it's just a very sort of anxiety-inducing environment. I feel everyone can relate, because constantly just being told oh, you're not good enough, or like I said, just being compared to other people 24/7. It's so intense to kind of remain that trends. And remain that sense of self throughout, and just self-belief is so important, but it's so easier said than done,
Very much so. Just to go off topic, mental health is a big thing for me, like especially with creativity. You know, I feel like it's a good way to release your like stress or your anxiety. So well done to you.
Thank
Do you know what I mean? Thank you for coming on the show as well. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot that you could express that to us. Do you know what I mean? And like you say, I've taken off the mask. On a serious note, like maybe anxiety is an issue. I do write, I do other things, but I could relate, and like giving you the opportunity to express yourself is important to me as well.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I'll move on to the next question. What message or emotion are you trying to give or convey in like your recent project?
I feel like it's interesting because I didn't go into it kind of with any like preconceived ideas. Like usually I just go in and like whatever comes out organically is like how it works. But like I feel like my last couple of things have kind of like surrounded around this idea of like you giving your full energy to someone or a situation and you're just not getting the same back, because I feel like there's been like different situations where
you'll go through that sometimes, till they bite, and it's like.
But like, I think that's just something that like obviously organically has like come out of my mind when I've been writing, from like past experiences. So it's kind of been nice to see like the mentality switch from like where I was in the moment to where I am now. So.
I know, like the growth. I mean, all right, let me move on to the next one. Can you share like experience where like music helped you overcome like a challenging situation in your life?
Yeah. Well, I feel like music's just a bit of a escape from reality, you know, like
100%.
Like I said, like just dealing with like general like anxiety, or just like such a chronic overthinker, so like it's so easy to kind of like focus on like all the negativities that are going on in the moment, and like it's just such a nice like escape to just like shut away, like listen to music. Also, like I feel like music, there's something for any kind of feeling or any emotion. Like if you want to sit and like listen to sad music to really feel what you're feeling, like
Juice WRLD.
Like it's so, you know, and you can
That's
really like.
That's my go-to.
Is it? But like you can really sit and also like feel a like relatability to the artist and like what they're talking about. But then also if you're like want to get away from the negativity, there's so much music that just like instantly for me just like makes me feel so much more positive and like so you can kind of there's so much that like you can kind of find anything to kind of get you out of that mentality that you're in.
And what would you say is a track that you go to?
Sad music, like a bit of Adele. You know, it's a classic.
Adele?
Yeah. If you want to feel the feels, like she's got you, you know.
I believe that. She's done well. All right, next question. Do you think that the music industry is becoming more supportive for for the mental health issues, or should I call it mental illness, that we go through, all the pressures we go through in the creative industry? Do you think like there's support? I mean, apart from what I'm doing, have you seen any other brands that kind of...
I think more...
build awareness?
I've seen more artists like definitely talk about it and kind of like open up about like their personal mental struggles through the industry, which I think has been so great because, again, like there's a bigger sense of relatability among people and like not feeling alone. So I've definitely seen that from a lot more people kind of being more candid about their experiences than I think before. I definitely think that there's a lot more to do and like much longer way to go to be at the point where everyone's fully like open and supportive. But I think like I can see it kind of going in the right direction, definitely.
I mean, you kind of said what you want to see, but what would that look like in your eyes? Like,
I think just more kind of like that relatability of, you know, the whole social media, everything looks perfect and everyone's life looks so glamorous. There's definitely still an element of that that could be broken down and
trying to meet up to that facade. Like,
and just like it doesn't matter kind of your background, who you are, your situation. Everyone has probably got some sort of experience with mental health, and like in a way it's nice because it brings such a community together, and I think just like more conversation about it for sure.
100%. All right, next question. I like that. How do you balance your mental health with your demands of performing, recording, and maybe promoting your music?
I think it's really hard because it obviously can get so overwhelming, but like I'm definitely a organizer. Like I like to plan like everything that I'm doing every day, and like even like writing things down like just makes it seem so much less overwhelming when you've like rather than it just all being in your brain. Yeah, but I just think it is hard, but also kind of allowing yourself to feel like negative thoughts if you need to. Like I think it's so great to, you know, try and be positive all the time and all of this, but it's also like okay to feel stressed.
Your demons.
Yeah, and like it's cool to sit with yourself and be like, okay, I feel really overwhelmed right now. Let me just like take a breath and like reflect on that. And like having also, I guess, friends in the same kind of environment is so helpful because you relate on so many levels, and like you feel a certain feeling and you're like, cool, it's just me. You talk to someone and you're like, oh no, they feel exactly the same way. So you just have a bit of comfort in that. I think it's so important to have friends like in the same environment.
Yes, very much so. And like that's what my brand kind of ethos is about. Is all about pack mentality. Like without the one, it's not about leadership in a sense, but it's all about that community.
Yeah,
to be
it's
able
so
to support.
important. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that answer. What advice would you give to aspiring artists that are like to maintain a good mental health, that are aspiring to get into the industry and become an artist?
Yeah, I think
like what helps you maintain a good mental health? Like,
I think kind of just living with a sense of balance. Like it can get obviously so intense like when you throw yourself into it, and like I think that's where it can become really overwhelming. But again, like for me, having a really good support system around me is so grounding, and like people that even if I'm not feeling like I can do it, I've got people to talk to me, and like they believe in me, so it's okay. And I think also, again, like I said, like making it okay to you're not going to feel 100% confident all the time, and you're not going to feel like you've got it 100% of the time, and like you probably feel a lot of self-doubt, but that's cool. And like to know that everyone feels the same, and then you just kind of get on with it, and like you'll feel better, you know.
Okay, well done. Well, I mean, hopefully a lot of people can take that in their personal life. You know, I believe is circumstantial as well.
Big time.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for everyone it's so different.
And next question, last question as well. And no, I want to take this time to say thank you again. Do you know what I mean, for coming and sharing your mind.
Yeah.
And no, we do have a little gift for you. This is a shirt from Mind UK itself. We're going to get you to tag it with your little logo as well later.
Thank you.
That's for you.
Thank you so much.
And final question, what next plan of attack in your music career? What do you want to do? What should we look out for? And I mean, what's your next project?
I mean, just really getting music out, releasing music. Like, it's time now. But, like,
I hope this motivates you too as well.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's time now. But I'm really excited. Like,
I think you shell it. I see you on certain circuits around us. And,
just like it's time releasing music, working with new people.
Your performances.
Like,
good.
Thank you. No, I'm excited. Yeah, good things to come. Yeah, I'm very excited.
Okay, and do you know where we could check you out? Where can they?
Instagram at India Hastings 2 A's, and TikTok at indie.hastings.
And what was the performance you done for us?
Original called Start the Fire, which we're working on, hopefully to be out soon.
Yeah, it'll be out soon. Keep your eyes out, stay tuned. Well, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Nice to see ya. This is season 3. What's the time, Mr. Wolfz? I'll say episode 1 is done, and we're looking forward to episode 2. Have a good night and stay tuned.
Can I have something, Mikey? Can I have something?